We are here because of the work that we have done and because we have worn masks and we pushed our numbers down. But they are very concerning right now.
Cases were piling up, and for the superintendent, the single most important job is the safety and well-being of their students.
I have been very outspoken and adamant about the importance of kids being in school.
Davison tried everything they could to keep cases manageable for the sake of staff and students who needed that face-to-face interaction. This included pulling anyone out when they were potentially exposed to COVID-19.
It's like really embarrassing and it's stressful. It's just like, I promise I don't have COVID.
It's tough when you tell these students that they can't come to school for 10 days, 14 days, whatever their quarantine time is.
On top of that, the students that were quarantined had to deal with another set of challenges.
You're stuck in a room by yourself, basically just doing your work and then doing nothing else. Because I couldn't go to dance, I couldn't go to pretty much anything else in my life.
I do see it on the faces of my coworkers. I see that they're tired and worried, and I worry for the students. Everybody deals with this in a different way. You worry for those kids that test positive, and you hope that they pull through it okay.
Plus, the time it took to monitor cases became a big part of what was already a demanding job for head faculty.
There was a 2-week stretch when it got pretty crazy. It felt like that was all that we were doing.
With cases on the rise, Governor Whitmer announced on November 15th a 3-week school shutdown for the state to prepare for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday and to hopefully slow the spread. Still, many families were looking forward to seeing each other in person, regardless of restrictions.
As hard as it is not seeing them this Thanksgiving, imagine how much harder it would be if you weren't able to see them for a future holiday ever again.
Others decided to play it safe for themselves and for their families.
I still went with some of my family, but a lot of people didn't go there because they're either immunocompromised or older and more susceptible in case anything did happen and someone at our party did have it. But it was a lot less people, but we still tried to celebrate any way that we could.
3 days after the governor's announcement, on November 18th, COVID-19 cases had risen over 20,000. Schools were given the choice during this shutdown to keep K-8 students face-to-face, but all high schools were closed and had to do virtual learning.
I made the very difficult decision to shut down all of our schools, pre-K through 12th grade, beginning on Wednesday, with the hopes of resuming face-to-face instruction on December 9th.
One of the differences between this shutdown and the first was that students were responsible for logging in and doing their schoolwork, and grades would actually count. Even though we had been through this once before, there was still confusion from both teachers, parents, and students.
And I don't really know how I'm feeling just yet. Adjusting is pretty weird. Today, teachers didn't really seem like they knew quite how to set up everything, but tomorrow, I think Zoom meetings will finally begin.
On Monday, Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced that the shutdown, originally set to be lifted on December 8th, had been extended for 12 days.
After 3 weeks of doing virtual school, Davison decided our K-8 students would be back in the classroom.
But high school students had to remain at home, and once again, their shutdown was extended until January 4th, totaling 47 days of not stepping foot into the school, an extra month after the original shutdown date. The new year began and high schoolers were welcomed back. COVID cases totaled over 500,000 with 13,000 deaths. But as spring approached, Davison would be in for a wild ride, full of hope and fear.